Stock futures edged slightly higher this morning as investors weigh the news of a deal with Iran. Stubborn trade prices are also at play here, and the Federal Reserve leaving rates unchanged. So let's bring in CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Hey, Jill.
Hello.
So oil prices continue to drop, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
We had no movement from the Fed yesterday. What do you make of this optimism that we have been talking about for the last couple of weeks as the market has anticipated eventually a deal getting signed?
Yeah, I mean, there's like many different things going on at once. So, I mean, I think people should be pretty happy that gas prices now below $4 a gallon, first time in a couple of months. That's good. And yet, on the other hand, people will point out, and rightly so, well, that is $1 a gallon more than gas prices were before the war began. So, you know, essentially, we have what I like to call the case of the arsonist fireman. Somebody starts a fire and then says, I am the fireman and I put it out. We created a lot of bad vibes in this economy by our actions, and now everybody has to pay for it. So we're happy there's a deal that's on the table. We're happy that oil and gas are coming down. But I think that many people would say, well, had we never done this, not gone to war in Iran, the economy would be lighting it up and we wouldn't have to worry so much. So the good part of the economy is that jobs remain pretty robust. We do worry about inflation kind of being sticky beyond the oil market. But, you know, I think that people would be feeling a lot better had we not just had this inflationary spike. So I think the markets are always different than what's happening on the ground. But I think that things are looking pretty good. Of course, that's exactly the moment when I worry like crazy that, OK, where's that next shoe dropping from, right?
Well, and I like you use this phrase, gas prices go up via the escalator, they come down via the stairs.
Yeah.
And so we'll see where that goes. Vlad mentioned the Fed. I want to ask you, you know, we didn't get a rate change, right? It means that it's not getting cheaper to borrow money for the average American. Those mortgage rates directionally, right? They're not going to go down. What did you make of Warsh's press conference? Because he was a bit spicy.
Yeah, personally, I sort of felt like, well, you're sort of coming out a little combative. That was completely unnecessary, but OK, whatever. What do we know? We know that this guy doesn't like long statements. He doesn't want Fed officials speaking in public. He actually may even think about changing the cadence of these press conferences. There are not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 task forces.
You get a task force.
Yeah, everyone's getting a task force. At the end of the day, the Fed's in a very interesting bind, forgetting about whether it's Warsh or Powell, right, at the helm. And that is that inflation is going to probably come down, but it's not going to this Fed's target of 2%. So for all the worry about like, oh, is Warsh going to just be cutting rates? Actually, yesterday it felt like this is a little more hawkish. We think that there's a bias towards actually increasing rates. There's, I think, based on futures markets, 1 or 2 rate increases for the year. Ahead for the rest of the year. You know what's fascinating to me? If you look at like the average American, like we talk about housing, but I just want to like hone in on the credit card balances right now. Credit card balances, $1.25 trillion right now. Okay, well, big number. But the average interest rate, if you carry a credit card balance, the average is 21%.
Insane.
So now we know that's not coming down anytime soon. May even go up a little bit. And we also know that 13% of folks who are carrying those credit card balances are more than 90 days delinquent. So there is some group of Americans, and not an unsubstantial amount, meaning 13% of people are having a problem keeping up. And I think this bears watching. The last time we were at 13%, you ready for this, was 2011. Now, what was happening in 2011? We had a financial crisis in 2008. We had a recession from 2009, 2010. We were coming out of that. The labor market was trash, and people were having a hard time keeping up. We now have the similar type of situation for credit card holders being late, but all the rest of the economy is so much better. So what has happened on the ground that has caused this? I think you reported this. Wages not keeping up with inflation right now. People plowing through a lot of their savings during the pandemic, coming out of it, and having a problem still managing prices. And again, it's not everybody, but some fraction. There are people under pressure.
Man, even with that 22%,
21% average.
it's like even for people who sometimes say, you know what, I'm just going to hold off a month. That's still a lot of money out of your pocket. Just get, if you're able to pay off those bills every month. Jill, always great to have you for your analysis. Thank you, my friend.